You've already used up a third of your life, and you didn't even notice. That's not a punchline. It's math. You only get around 30,000 days on Earth. If you're 30 years old, more than 11,000 of them are already gone. Forever. Most people walk through life like they're immortal. Like they've got unlimited chances to chase that dream, mend that relationship, or finally do the thing they keep saying they'll do, someday. But someday is a dangerous word. It's the biggest scam time ever pulled. This isn't about productivity hacks or time-blocking tips. This is about finally living your life before it passes you by. And by the way, this isn't meant to scare you. It's meant to wake you up. Because no one tells you when your last regular day will be. And by the time you realize how much time you've spent on things that didn't matter, it's usually too late to get that time back. Remember when summer felt like it lasted forever? One afternoon could stretch on like a full week. A bike ride around the block felt like a mini adventure, and a birthday party was a major event. Then adulthood hits, and suddenly it's like your life's on fast forward. 1 week blends into the next. You blink, and it's already Friday. Again, this isn't just nostalgia, it's a glitch in your perception. Your brain measures time based on how many new experiences it records. When you were a kid, everything was fresh. But as an adult, you're on autopilot. Wake up, phone scroll, coffee, same commute, same jokes in the group chat. And here's what's worse, the more routine your days are, the more your brain skips recording them. They don't get stored, they just vanish. And suddenly a year goes by and you feel like, what even happened? The days blur together not because you're busy, but because you stop being present in them. Here's the good news, you can trick your brain into stretching time again. And no, it doesn't require quitting your job or traveling the world. You just have to break the loop. Your brain pays attention when something is different. So give it something new. Take a different route to work. Try a completely new meal. Sit in a cafe with a book instead of doom scrolling. It doesn't have to be dramatic, it just has to be unfamiliar. Learn a random skill, juggling, sketching, chess, whatever. Watch a documentary on something you know nothing about. Have a conversation with someone you'd usually ignore. These small acts of novelty add bookmarks to your memory, and suddenly time starts to feel fuller again. Because it's not about having more time. It's about experiencing time more deeply. And the fastest way to do that is by waking your brain up from the loop it's been stuck in. Picture this, you're old. Gray hair, weathered skin, sitting on a porch. The sun's setting, literally and figuratively. And your mind is playing back your life. Do you think you'll care about those late-night reports you rushed to finish? Or the meetings where you nodded, smiled, and said, great idea, let's circle back? Probably not. That's the deathbed test. It cuts through the nonsense. Ask yourself, will this matter when I'm out of time? That time you skipped your friend's wedding to answer emails. That year you said no to travel because of one deadline. That quick check-in on your phone that turned into 3 hours. This isn't about quitting your job and running off to Bali. It's about making sure the stuff you do every day adds up to a life that means something to you. Because the most dangerous thing isn't wasting a day. It's wasting 10 years and only realizing it once they're gone. Here's the truth most people don't want to admit. We waste time doing things that don't matter, and we call it being productive. We check off tasks, say, busy, but the question isn't, did I do a lot? It's, did I do what mattered? Social media doesn't feel like a thief, but it's quietly pulling minutes, hours, days out of your pocket, and giving you nothing back. Most of us reach for our phones before we even think in the morning. And that's not by accident, it's by design. Even worse are the fake urgencies. That quick favor you never wanted to do. That meeting you sat through out of guilt. That entire weekend spent pleasing people you don't even like. They add up, bit by bit, so protect your time like your life depends on it. Because in many ways, it does. Start asking, what's stealing my time that doesn't deserve it? And then start saying no, unapologetically. Relationships are built like bank accounts. And most people, they're overdrawn and don't even know it. It's not the big things that build trust, it's the small, consistent ones. That, thinking of you, text. Remembering someone's favorite song, showing up when it wasn't convenient. These are deposits. Being flaky, distracted, constantly venting without listening. Withdrawals. And here's the thing, you don't always feel the impact immediately. Just like a bank, you can run on fumes for a while. But eventually, the account hits zero, and the connection collapses. Also, don't sleep on your weak ties. Those casual acquaintances. They can introduce you to jobs, ideas, and communities you never even knew existed. You don't need 100 best friends. You need a handful of deep ones, and a wide web of connections that keep you growing. And remember, shared pain builds stronger bonds than shared pleasure. People remember who was there when things were hard, not just who partied with them. It sounds impossible, give more time, and you get more back. But that's exactly what happens. When you help someone, really help, your mind stops spinning in its own chaos. You anchor yourself in someone else's reality, even if only for a moment. It slows down the hamster wheel, creates perspective, and yes, paradoxically, it makes your own life feel richer. Give someone 5 minutes of kindness. Help a friend move. Call someone who's been going through it. These moments give your life texture, because in helping others, we get reminded of our own purpose. And nothing makes time feel more meaningful than feeling like you mattered to someone else. You don't need to volunteer in a war zone to make a difference. Sometimes, the biggest impact comes from just noticing someone who feels invisible and reminding them that they're not. Your dream career probably isn't where you're looking. People chase titles, salary bumps, fancy job descriptions. But what if the real magic happens in the strange, zigzag moves, the ones that don't make sense right now? Modern careers are jungle gyms, not ladders. The person who tried 5 things and failed at 2 is more valuable than the one who played it safe for a decade. Here's the trap: comfort. You get a paycheck, benefits, and just enough praise to stay. But slowly, that comfort becomes quicksand. You stop learning, you stop risking, you stop growing. And here's a weird trick: pay attention to what you do when you're procrastinating. Are you designing stuff, writing, editing videos, building in Notion? That's not wasted time, that's a clue. Your so-called distractions might be the roadmap to your real passion. Follow it, even if it doesn't make sense yet. People obsess over time management, but no one teaches energy management. And here's the reality: you don't need more hours. You need better energy. Would you rather grind through 12 tired hours, or knock out what matters in 6 focused ones? It starts with sleep. Real sleep. Not 4 hours and caffeine. Not doom scrolling in bed until your brain short circuits. Sleep isn't optional, it's the reboot that powers everything else. And your body, it's begging you to move. You weren't built to sit for 10 hours and then melt into a couch. Move, often. It doesn't have to be a gym session, a walk, some push-ups, stretching while your coffee brews. Physical movement clears mental fog. You'll literally think better. And here's a final gem: emotions only last 90 seconds, chemically. If you're still angry after that, you're choosing to stay there. Master your emotions, and you master your energy. And once you master your energy, you master your time. Time is short, but the solution isn't to panic, it's to pay attention. If you wake up one day and realize your life doesn't feel like yours, that's your signal. To shift, to show up, to start living with intention. Forget waiting for the perfect moment. It doesn't exist. Forget someday. Someday isn't coming, but you're here now, and that's enough. So take the next minute and do something your future self will thank you for. Because in the end, it's not about how long you live. It's about how awake you are while you're living it.